Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll explain one more time. Okay, see here, what is the return types which we are discussing here? See, uh, here basically OV dot, see OV dot OB dot sum of 10 20, right? So when we are calling this method, what is the return type of this method? Return type of this method is like int. It is accepting the two parameters. The return type of this method is a int, and we are returning the integer of two numbers, right? And the return value, when we are calling this method, it is returning some value. So that value we are storing in the variable. We are storing in a variable. The same way, in terms of like the methods, if you are returning any class, right, then how we are going to return? So that's why I explained this example. So we have a student class, and we'll be having a student id name, course, and we are generating the getters and setters, and we have another class, student test. Okay, so in that we have another method. We have a one more method as get student details test. Okay, get student test, get student details, right? So inside that method we are creating the objects. We are creating the objects, and we are setting the values, student id and student name and student course, and we are returning the s. We are returning s is nothing but what, student object only, right? S belongs to a student, right? So in that case, this method I want to call in some other class and get the details. See, because this return s, right, it is returning s is holding all the student data, right? S is holding a student data. So this data I want to return. This data I want to return. So in that case, we need to create a student class object. We need to create a student class object. Okay, and we need to call anyway. See, in order to call this method, right, this method belongs to which class? Student class only. So not student class, guys, this method belongs to, type of mistake, this method belongs to student test class. So this student test class, we have an object. Okay, we have an object reference. So obj dot get student details. Okay, get student details. When we are calling the return type of the student details, the return type of get student details is the student one. Okay, now we need to store that thing into student one. So we need to store that one into the student details. See, student test is nothing but like a normal class. It's not a student class. Okay. So inside that student test class, we have a get student method. So I need to, if I want to call this method, definitely I need to create an object for this class, right? That's why I created this class object. With the help of that object, right? With the help of that object, we are with the help of that object, we are calling the method. So once I call the get student method, what is the return type of the get student method? Get student details method, student. So that's why I'm storing here. Although it's kind of like a returning the class, returning the object, right? It is returning the object only. Return s is nothing but. So that object we are storing here, and then we are getting each and every data. We are getting each and every data. So the same way here also same, right? OV.sum 10 20 we are calling, and it is going to calculate, and it is going to return an integer. That integer we are storing here. Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
See, you want me to explain this example? Then, if you want me to run, we have to generate the getters and setters, and we have to do that. Will do, or how it is? Like you already got the point, the return type concept. Okay, let me explain this. Just generate getters and setters. Take help from the Eclipse, because Writing letters and setters always like it's a difficulty to better you always take help from the ID. So many mistakes. Let's copy this. Copy this code, paste here, not here. Okay, so later we'll check. And we have a public class student test and test student. In the test student, we are going to create an object of student test and we are going to call the method and it is going to return the data. Now you have to print system dot out dot println not SOP because compiler is view. The student ID. So these are all basics. Just learn the things thoroughly so that you can easily understand the program. Student, another student name is. So what we are going to do here? So what is the object? Student, right? Student is the object we created here. Student dot get what is the name? Name get method get student name. Just call this method. Call this method and double quotations. Student dot get what is the course detail? Get course. Get student course. Okay. Now we are closing this class. We are closing this class. Okay. Just save this. What is the main class here? The student test. Just save this one. So now you compile this. Present get student ID. What is it showing? Private string student name. Identifier expected. What is that in the which class it is showing? I think this private is spelling wrong. Yes. That time we changed, right? So just save it. Any other compile time error? Line number 55. 4. Okay, line number 55. In the SOP statement, what is the problem? Okay, we'll check that line. Hmm. Print PRIST. Print ln system router. Ln student ID. Okay. Double quotations. STUDENT.
Yes, student is small. Not too small.
Sorry?
Get the student out, get the student ID, there is a yes, small font. It must be capital. Small.
Where here?
Yes, sir.
You're talking about here?
No, sir, before that, student.
No, this is okay. This can be like it will be treated as a string, right? When it is printing. Just compare it one more time. Get STUDENT ID. That's correct only, right? With student course semicolon expected. So what was the return type of this method is a student only. So student dot get.
Sir, in get student details method, return spelling is wrong.
Here, this is the one, right? Get student
Get student details method, sir.
get student details method. Okay. Just take
Return
this.
spelling.
Sir, return spelling wrongs in get student method.
Okay, return spelling is wrong. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Above, sir, above.
Not this one. So still it is expecting. We didn't save. We saved actually. Get student details. Get student details. Correct only, right? RETU or in return statement. No, I think in this line it is throwing. Let me check thoroughly. The line number 57 only we are getting the problem. Line number 57. The student ID is a student dot get student and student name. It is okay. It is printing. And the student course. Illegal start type. What is the problem? Illegal start type. Expected. Student ID is. Looks like everything is same. Just copy this. Just paste it here. Check your println. It is going to highlight. Okay. Looks like everything is same, but why it is. Let's compare with these two. Any mistakes we did. Voter println and student ID. Okay. S dot get ID. Okay. Plus student student name is okay. S dot get name plus student course name. Course is S dot of course. Correct only, right? Looks like same. We haven't given anything. Just run this. Expected. So system we no need to import because it's a by default LAN package. Student dot student name. Just go to the location. What is it? Student test, right? Is the class.
ಮಗ ಹೇಳ ಮಗ ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಇಲ್ವಾ
Okay, already it was there, right? Okay. Just try to delete this one in the same package it is there. Just try to delete this one.
ತಡಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ
Just go here abstraction inside that. You have a student. Here also it is there. Files concept.
ಹಾಂ ಸರಿ
Here also it is there. Exception handling. Okay, just paste here. See here. Here student ID. Where is the set? Where is the set? Setters is a problem. Got the point, right? See, that is the reason Eclipse is required. Setters is a problem. Set student name. So set student name, come down here. So just simply call the student ID, not set. Set is not there, no? Set student name be done. Set. Guys, understood the problem?
Yes.
Okay, no, we didn't save. The student ID, student name. Set student ID, set student name, set student course, return X. Okay. Get student ID, get student name, get student course. Everything we took from the getter only. Okay, illegal start type. Illegal start type, why it is showing here? Just make it here and see. And then somewhere again we are returning. Okay, understood. What is the problem here? Okay, so here we should have a one method. That's the reason. See, when we are writing the system.out.println, like, see, whenever you are going to write down the system.out.println, always it should be supposed to either one or other the method. So that's the reason here it is showing public void. Now it is not throwing any error, right? Okay. So, but in order to again, what we have to do in order to call this method, where we can call this method, just save this program. Still somewhere it is showing an error. Class. Why we can write down n number of classes, right? Declare package does not match. Okay, understood. Simply import this. Just it will come import, add package declaration. Okay, now, so we have a method. Here inside method we are creating the this class object, and we are calling this obj.the student details method, and we are going to invoke. So now, so this is the main method. This is a main method class, right? So here, better you can move this logic. Better you can move this logic in a student table itself, or sorry, not table, student class itself. Come back here. This is a student class. Another class. Student test. Inside that we have a. Let's take this is like we don't have any main method here. You just write down public static. Not here. You can write down here. Public static. Void main. String args. Now inside this you try to build this logic. I think we no need of writing the method inside. Main method is also one of the method, right? So just copy paste this one. So now we are going to create the student test object, and in the student test object what it is written. So remove this class, it's not required now. So now we have like a get student. So we are going to create this class object, student test object. So inside that student test object we have a method get student details method, and it is returning the student. So when we are calling this get student detail and returning the object, with that object we are getting the data. So when we are calling this method, here actually we are setting the data, right? Here we are actually setting the data and we are returning the thing. So okay, just copy this, paste into this class. So remove that package. We get an exception. Now try to run the same program. It is not getting the see. So student test, just run this. It is printing. It is printing what are the data we are setting in a different method. So in that method, it is returning the student object, and that object we are storing into that object we are storing here, and with that object we are printing the data. So now you understood, right, like in the methods how it is going to return the object or return the classes, how it is going to return. Got the point, guys? Still you want me to explain one more time?
Yes, sir. Need one more.
Okay. So just see here, otherwise you will get confused in the notepad, okay? Because like we have here to there you have to go, right? So just the same program. So the student class we have. In the student class we'll be having the properties, student ID, student name, course, and we are generating the getters and setters. Okay, this is like one class. And the other class, right, we are taking as a student test main class. Okay, in that class we are writing one more method, public student get student detail. So get student detail is a method. It is returning the student. It is returning the student data, right? So for that, inside that get student detail method, we are creating the student class object, not this class object, this class object. Because why we are creating this class object? Because we have to return what is the return type of the get student detail is a student one. So we are going to set the data and we are returning that s. We are returning that s. Right? So when I am calling student test obj equal to new student, student equals to obj dot get student details, because see, in order to call this method we need to create this class object, right? We need to create this class object. So now we created this class object. Now so when we have to call this method, right, in order to get the student details. So for that, with the help of this object, we are calling this get student detail. So what is the return type of this get student detail? Student. We are returning s. S is nothing but a student only, right? So that's so here we should not place here as an employee, because get student method is returning what? See, get student detail method return type is what? Student only, right? But we cannot store that value into here. Value into, like, the student object cannot stored into here. So that's why we are changing. We have to store. We have to store here. So the return type of this get student detail method is the return one is student object. So this is s is nothing but a student object, right? So type is matching. So now we are going to, by using the reference, we are printing the student ID and student name and student course. Clear now?
Yes, sir. Now I
Yes, sir.
Sorry?
cleared, sir.
Okay. So now you understood this concept, right? Overloading concept. Okay. So here why we discussed this class, right? Because why we discussed this concept here, because of this sum method is returning the int variable, right? Int variable. So here ob dot sum, when we are calling, then directly it goes to two parameterized method, and it is going to calculate the two numbers, and we are returning. See, instead of student, we are returning what? Integer only, right? 30 value is nothing but integer only, we are returning here. And the return value, what is that? 30 is nothing but integer only, that's why we are storing into int a variable, then we are printing. Looks like this concept and this concept is same, right? When we are calling for get student details, the return type of the get student details is the student one. That's why we are storing into student. Okay. So now we'll discuss like a constructor concept, because like here this is nothing but a overloading, right? So in this overloading concept, So it will come as a constructor overloading also. So overloading can be happen through constructors also. Okay, that's how we are going to discuss constructor. So what is a constructor? Hmm. Anyone knows definition?
It invokes automatically when object is created.
Yeah. So when we are going to create an object, the constructor will be invoked automatically. So when we are going to create a student test, right? So when we are going to student test, it creates automatically. Like here, if you are writing any default constructor, then automatically it will get execute. So the method name and class name, if it is same, means it is nothing but like a constructor. So here we have a two different types of constructor. So one is default constructor, the other one is parameterized constructor.
Parameter.
Okay, so default constructor is nothing but at the time of creation of object, it automatically invoke the default constructor. Okay, so constructor will never have any return type. Even void also we are not writing. Constructor will not have any return type. So if the class name is same and that the method name and class name is same and we are returning some return type, right? Don't think that that is a constructor. That is a method. That is a method, right? So don't think that that is a constructor. Clear?
Yes,
Guys,
sir.
clear or not? So the method name and the method name. One second, guys, I'm getting call continuously. Okay, so constructor. So we were discussing about the constructor concept, right? Constructor will have a two different types of constructors. One is a parameterized constructor. One is a default constructor. So in our class, take this one as an example. Take this one as an example. Okay. So we are creating the object, right? We are creating here object. But here we don't have any default constructor, right? Then how come it is? How come we are going to able to create an object? How come we are going to create an object? Okay, if there is no constructor available in our class, who is going to provide a default constructor? Who is going to provide a default constructor? Anyone having idea?
At the compilation time, it automatically gets created.
Compilation time?
It automatically gets created with the new arguments.
Okay. So during the compilation time, the compiler will check whether compiler is going to check whether we have a constructor, default constructor or not, or parameterized constructor or not. So in our class, if we don't have a default constructor and if we don't have a parameterized constructor, then automatically compiler is going to provide a default constructor. Compiler is going to provide a default constructor. Okay, so now take one more example how it is going to provide. Okay, so here I am writing public contest is a method. Sorry, contest is a class. Okay, now I'm going to write down one main method. So welcome to constructor concept. Okay, just save this class. So I'm just printing this. Okay, just replace it. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to write down one method. Public void show. Okay, I'm removing this here. I'm calling this method. Otherwise, like we need to create an object, right? In order to create an object, we need in order to call the method, we need to create a class. Right? So now p dot show and calling. So in our case, when we are going to create an object, so when compiler is going to run the when compiler is going to execute this class, so compiler is going to check whether in this class we have any default constructor or parameterized constructor or not. So what is a default constructor? So how we are going to write down the default constructor? So this is nothing but a default constructor. This is nothing but a default constructor. So when it is going to execute the default constructor, when it is going to execute the parameterized constructor, anyone having idea when the default constructor is going to execute, when parameterized constructor is going to execute? Okay. So now I'm passing in x, right? I'm just
If there is a default constructor, we can use this.
Parameterized constructor, parameter constructor. So now I'm just printing like x value. Okay. Now just save this one. So here in our case, we have both constructors. One is parameterized constructor, one is a default constructor. So if these two constructors are not available, is programmer is not writing any constructor inside the class, then obviously when our program is going to compile, that time the compiler is going to provide by default constructor. Compiler will never provide a parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor, if you want to write down, the programmer has to create a parameterized constructor. So compiler will never create a parameterized constructor. So that is sure. But compiler, if there is no default constructor inside our class, there is no parameterized constructor inside our class, that time the compiler is going to provide the default constructor. Let's say, for example, in our case now, default constructor is not available. Now we have a parameterized constructor. So in that time, compiler is going to provide a default constructor here. Compiler is going to provide a default constructor here. No, because
No, sir.
because why it is not providing, because we already have a parameterized constructor. So compiler will check whether that in that program is having a parameterized constructor, default constructor. Anyone it is available means compiler will never provide default or parameterized. Now, if you are passing here contest, it will get compile time error because the compiler is going to check you have provided the parameterized constructor, then you are calling for default constructor. This default constructor is not available in our class. So that's the reason you have to pass parameterized constructor value. Okay. So later we'll see one by step so that we can easily understood. So now execute this one. Execute this one. Where it is getting? Public contest. We have a default constructor int x. Let's we have a body, right? Why it is contest default constructor. Okay, semicolon was given here, right? That's a problem. It got compiled. Now it is printing a default constructor and welcome to the constructor concept. Because we are calling the method right here, t.show, we are calling the method. See, at the time of, in order to call any method, we have to create an object and we have to call the method, right? So that time only this show method it is going to execute. That time only this show method is going to execute. But here, when we are calling t.show method, right? So without creation of object, we cannot call this method. So after creation of object, we are calling this method. But if you can see, at the time of creation of object itself, the constructor is going to initialize. If you want to initialize any values, we can initialize, and we are getting, we are calling this constructor. We are calling this constructor. So by default, if the default constructor will be executed if there is no parameterized constructor. If there is no parameterized constructor, for example, now I am removing this default constructor. Now I am removing this default constructor. So compiler is definitely it will look for you have declared the parameterized constructor, but you are trying to create an object with no arguments. You are trying to create an object with no arguments and that too, there is no default constructor here. If there is a default constructor, then it will execute. Right? See, error constructor test is contest cannot be applied by the given types. So it is accepting the int values, but found there is no arguments. Found there is no argument. So now if you pass 10, why it is throwing an error here? The compiler is always expecting like if a programmer is providing a default like a parameterized constructor, compiler will never provide a default constructor. See here, concept is you are creating an object. Yes. This belongs to what? A default constructor. Compiler will check in our class, is there any default constructor? No. In our class, there is no default constructor because if once the programmer written the parameterized constructor, compiler will never provide a default constructor. It always expect the value to call parameterized constructor. So that's the reason. So now if I remove this one, right? If I remove this one also, now save it and run the program. This time it will compile because there is no default constructor. There is no default constructor in our class and there is no parameterized constructor in our class. So this time compiler by default it is going to provide default constructor. So that is the reason it is compiled. Now we are calling the show method, it is printing. But earlier case it's a different. Earlier case we have parameterized constructor. We have a parameterized constructor. If you have one constructor itself, now compiler is not going to provide a default constructor. But here we are calling the default constructor. So compiler will check here there is no default constructor. That's the reason it is going to get an error. If you are passing 10 value, passing 10 value, then it is going to execute. Parameter constructor 10 and welcome to the constructor concept. See before at the time of object creation itself the constructors will be invoked. Now I am not passing the value. Now I am not passing the value. See now I am providing the default constructor. Now I am providing the default constructor. I am providing the parameterized constructor. Now this time I'm calling like this time I'm creating the object. Now in our program we have a default constructor. Now we have a default constructor, it will execute the default constructor. Right? Now this will execute default constructor. So now you understood, right? Now you understood the constructor concept. Means how the constructor is going to invoke. If there is no default constructor, now if you write a parameterized constructor, compiler will always ask you to pass the whatever the arguments we are passing. So in the constructor, it will always ask you have to pass those arguments. If you are not using any parameterized constructor, compiler is going to, in your class you don't have a parameterized constructor and default constructor, then compiler is going to provide during the compilation time default constructor for that class. See all these things like in interview they will confuse you. They will ask. Clear? So now okay. So now we'll discuss like constructor overloading constructor overloading concept. So in real time, when we are using this concept, constructor concept, initializing the values. See, during the object creation itself, I want to initialize some values. By default values, always we want to initialize. Then in that case, we are going to initialize all the values inside the constructor. All the parameters we are initializing to constructor with the help of parameterized constructor. See, for example, when I am creating every user, when I'm going to create every user, so by default every user will have a username and password and URL. For example, when they want to log into the Gmail, so we should have a URL, username and password, right? So all these three properties is common for each and every user. So in that case, when I am creating the user class, I am going to assign these values. Like I am going to declare like when the object creation type, if you want to initialize these three values, then these three values I'm going to initialize. Apart from other values, these three values we are initializing in the constructor. Okay, so now int x and y, right? So now I'm going to write down of two values is x plus y. Okay. Now I'm going to write down one more constructor here. Constructor overloaded, right? This is concept. Constructor overloaded concept. Sum of three values. Now, okay, just remove the t dot show method. Not required. Now in this class, we are creating the object. Now we are going to create a contest object. Okay, contest object means always it is going to execute the default constructor, right? So just run this example and see the output. It is printing the default constructor because the default constructor already we defined. Default constructor already we defined. Okay. Now, if I am passing 10, 20. So now which constructor is going to execute? Which constructor it is going to execute?
Parameters.
Parameter constructor. So it will execute this constructor or this constructor?
Only two parameters.
Two parameters.
Two parameters constructor it is going to execute. So now just try to execute this. It is printing two parameters. Like sum of two values is 30. Now if I pass 30. In this case,
Second one will execute.
second one only
Going to execute.
this one
No, sir. Below.
below. Okay, this one it is going to execute because so it is going to look for the constructor is going to look for is there any three parameterized constructor? Yes, we have a three parameterized constructor. Looks like a overloading concept, right? Constructor. This is nothing but this concept is nothing but a constructor overloading. Constructor overloading. It is printing. It is printing three sum of three values, right? Now, at the time of now my requirement is like I want to execute all this either one constructor when I am going to create an object, right? That time with one single constructor, one single object, right? We want to call from one constructor to other constructor. So we want to link between one constructor to other constructor. So I want to link from this constructor to this constructor and this constructor to this constructor. So constructor will always we are going to create an object, right? So constructor will initialize from bottom to top and execute from top to bottom. So initializing bottom to top and executing top to bottom, right? So here I initialize the constructor. Now it is going to come and it is going to execute this one. Now from here I want to call this constructor. From here I want to call this constructor. So how we can do that? Is there any concept by using that we can do? Is there any concept anyone knows? Dhruva, Manjunath, Parsuram, Bhakta, Sai Manoj, Chetan, Vishmita. People are there in front of system or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
yes,
are.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in order to invoke from one constructor to the other constructor, like which concept we are going to use, like from one parameterized constructor to other parameterized constructor. From there it will
Constructor
go.
chain.
Huh?
Constructor chain.
Constructor?
Chain.
Constructor chaining is like by using which concept, like by using the which keyword we can achieve that constructor chaining concept. Hmm.
This parenthesis, sir.
Huh?
This parenthesis, this keyword.
Yeah, this keyword we are going to use. So this keyword we are going to use. So it is going to always like current. This keyword is nothing but like one of the keywords in Java out of 48 keywords. Like this keyword is going to use for the object level, variable level, initialization. Like always, like it is going to used for the current one. Okay, so now you have to use. I want to call two parameterized constructor. From here, I want to call a single parameterized constructor. In that case, two parameterized constructor. In that case, what we have to provide. So now we are calling this 10 and 20. Now I want to call from here to, like obviously this is going to execute the two parameterized constructor. Then it is going to execute. Now here I want to call from here. So now this constructor is going to call. It will look for the single parameterized constructor. Now we have to call this. This is nothing but like a default constructor. Default constructor. From here it will come. From here it is going to call a default constructor. From here it is going to call a default constructor. Got the point or not? So now execute C. When I am passing three parameterized constructor, my directly the control comes to here. It is accepting three parameters, right? Directly it comes 10, 20, 30. Okay, it will be assigned 10, 20, 30. So it is going to call 10 and 20. So from here, this constructor we are calling, like from three parameterized constructor, we are calling the two parameterized constructor. So in that case, it is going to check, is there any two parameterized constructor in our class? Yes. So 10 is going to assign to x and y, 20 is going to assign to y, and the first line again. Here it is, from here in this constructor we are going to call single parameterized constructor. So here directly the 10 value will assign to x, and here it executes, it comes to the first line, it is going to execute a default constructor. Once it is printed a default constructor, now it will print the x value is 10, and then it is going to print sum of two value is 10 and 20 we passed right here 30, and sum of three values is, it is going to print 10, 20, 30, 60 it is going to print. Execute this. Semicolon we are missing. initializing constructor, we are initializing the values bottom to top and executing top to bottom. So default constructor, x value is 10, sum of 2 value is 30, sum of 3 value is 60. So how the program is going to execute here. See, normally we are creating the object and that object is accepting the 3 parameters, that constructor. So this constructor, during the object creation itself, it is going to invoke anyway. So now it will look for the 3 parameterized constructor. Okay, we have a 3 arguments and 3 parameterized constructor. It is going to look for 10, 20, 30, and then now the first line. Always we have to write down the first line. Always we have to write down the first line. So this 10, 20. Okay, so the control is executes from here and it comes to here to, and it is going to execute the third. Now it is going to look for the parameters which is having 2. The constructor is going to look for 10 and 20. So 10 and 20, where we are going to declare here. We have a 2 parameterized constructor here, right? So I am passing. So from here the control goes to here 4 and it executes this. It is accepting the parameter as a single parameter. Then here it will look for the, is there any a default constructor, parameterized constructor. It is accepting one single parameter. Yes, it is accepting. Now this is a 6, it is going to execute, and 7. So it will look for what is this? This is nothing but like a default constructor. So default constructor is there. Yes, it is going to execute. It comes to the line number 8 and then it execute, initialize the values from bottom to top and execute top to bottom. 9, and it is going to print. Sorry, it is going to print this one at the line number like execution of 10th and 11th. It is going to execute on 12. Like that, it is going to execute. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So now you understood, right? It at last, see, we are calling first 3 parameterized constructor, but at last it is printing this. At last it is printing sum of 3 variables, sum of 3 values, because it is initializing from bottom to top, executing top to bottom, initializing the values. See, it is nothing but like initializing the values only, right? Here. So now here I commented this. Here I commented this. What is the output? Here we commented this. Then what is the output?
30.
Sum of 3 values.
Sum of 3 values, because so why it is going to print sum of 3 values. Here if you can concentrate, see, we are not making a connection between one constructor to other constructor. We are not making any connection. So there is no chain between this constructor, 3 parameterized constructor to 2 parameterized constructor, right? So just execute this one. We didn't compile. It is printing 3 parameterized constructor only. Because we are commenting, we are not making a connection between one constructor to other constructor. So now if I pass 10, if I pass 10, will it invoke? Will it work? Now what is the output? So just reduce the font so that you can easily check here.
Output is 60.
Hmm?
ತಡಿಯ ಒಂದೊಂದು 10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್
Output
ಮುಗಿಯುತ್ತೆ
is
ಬಂದೆ
60.
Output is 60. Okay.
ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತೀರ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೆ
See, now what it is going to do? See, we are passing 10, 20, 30. Yes. Now the control comes to here and we are calling single parameterized constructor. Single parameterized constructor from here. So here to here directly from 3 parameterized constructor to directly it goes to the, it will look for is there any single parameter it is going to expect. Yes, it is there. Then directly when the control comes to here, it will execute and it will call the default constructor. It is going to print, then it is going to print the x value and then it is going to print the sum of 3 values. Sum of 3 values. Clear? See, we are directly linking 3 parameterized constructor to single parameterized constructor. We are not executing 2 parameterized constructor. Right? See, if I pass 10 and 20 only, then 2 parameterized constructor it will invoke because we are not passing 10, 20, we are passing only 10, which nothing but single parameterized constructor it has to execute. So in that case, it is going to execute single parameterized constructor. From here, it is going to call this. Then it's nothing but default constructor it is going to invoke. Right? It is printing 3 values. In the 3 parameterized constructor, what we are calling? We are calling this 10. This 10 is nothing but constructor. It is accepting single parameter. Then it is going to execute here. Then from here we are calling the default constructor. Then it is going to execute this one and then next statement is x value is 10. The next statement is sum of 3 values. Now you got the point?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್
So why it is not calling the 2 parameterized constructor? We are directly from 3 parameterized constructor we are calling 2 parameterized constructor. Now I am passing 10, 20. What is the output?
ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಗೋಸ್ ಟು 2 ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್
Directly goes to 2 parameterized constructor. From here we are calling the single parameterized constructor. Then it is going to execute. Now it is going to call the default constructor. It is printing. So output will be default constructor and then x value is 10 and sum of 2 values. Right? Sum of 2 values is 30 and x value and default constructor. Right? So now I am passing only 10. Right? Now I am passing 10. In that case, directly when object is created, directly it is going to call single parameterized constructor. From here default constructor it is going to execute. Output is default constructor and x value is 10. It is going to print. Here.
ಎಸ್
So if I am not passing any, if I remove this default constructor, if I am not passing any value this time, who is going to provide a default constructor? This program will compile or not?
Yes, sir.
ಕಂಪೈಲ್ಸ್
So raise your hands, tell me guys, this program will compile or not?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಪೈಲ್
It will compile. Sunil says it will compile. So this program is not going to compile because in this program we don't have a default constructor. right? But we have a parameterized constructor. If you have a parameterized constructor, initially I told compiler will not provide a default constructor.
Yes, then we must pass the value. Then it will.
Yes, then we must pass the value because if you have a parameterized constructor, JVM will never provide, sorry, compiler will never provide a default constructor. See here, see not suitable, found, context, no arguments. Okay, just comment this one. From here we are getting. So it is coming from here only, right? Because it is throwing an error because we don't have a not suitable constructor because we don't have any default constructor. So that's why it is expecting either you have to pass three parameterized constructor. Yes, in our program we have. Either you can pass two parameterized constructor. Yes, we have, or else single parameterized constructor. If you are providing a parameterized constructor, then compiler will never provide a default constructor. In our class, there is no parameterized constructor, there is no default constructor, then that time compiler is going to by default provide default constructor. So now if I pass, then program will compile. It is printing, right? So now if you pass 10, then it is going to invoke. If you have passed 10 and 20, then it is going to invoke. 10, 20, 30, it is going to invoke. So like that, it is going to invoke the constructors. Clear, right? Yes, clear or not? So maybe in interview, like they'll ask like some simple and confusion questions. So maybe like we think we know constructor concept very well, and they'll ask some silly questions, and they'll filter you. Okay, so that is about overloading and a constructor overloading. Constructor concept now we discussed, right? And we discussed the constructor overloading, nothing but like constructor chaining in order to make one constructor to other constructor. So in that case, can't we call the overloaded methods from one method to other method? Hmm? Can I call like that? So overloaded methods from one method to other method if you want to invoke. Just think and let me know by tomorrow class. The same way, when we are calling the constructors from one constructor to other constructor by using this keyword, can we call the same as like overloaded methods or not? So check and let me know tomorrow. I'll clarify that one, that question, like whether we can invoke or not. Okay, that's all about today's class. And tomorrow we'll take class at 8:15 a.m. Guys, just try to practice, even though if you know the subject, just try to practice because if you are practicing, definitely you'll remember the concept. So clear, any doubts?
Sir, can I use this keyword as a second statement,
Just
or
use
it's
it.
mandatory to use as a first statement?
It's a mandatory to use in the first statement. So now, just pass 10, 20. I closed that. Okay, so just go here. and try to pass 10 and 20 after this. Now we are passing 10, 20. So, as per our assumption, it has to call the two parameterized constructor, right? Two parameterized constructor it has to call. Just so call to must first statement given constructor.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So that's all about today's class. Tomorrow we'll discuss the remaining concept. Right? Any doubts? Or else we'll wind up. Okay guys, we'll wind up then. Bye.
Okay.